Hey folks, welcome back to the iPhone Roundup podcast. I'm your host, Nick the Dude. Thank you so much for tuning in. On the iPhone Roundup podcast, we find the best games on the iTunes App Store and give you the rundown on what's worth playing each and every week. Support this show by subscribing via iTunes or YouTube. You can also link or embed our show on your blog, Twitter, or Facebook page. Before we get started, I have 3 free copies of Drop 7 courtesy of Area Code Inc., Drop 7's developer. All you have to do is subscribe on YouTube and I'll pick 3 random winners next week. This week, we're taking bite-sized looks at a number of great iPhone games. We've got so much gaming goodness to get to, what do you say we head right into the reviews?
Do you like flinging spinning ragdolls through the air to collect stars? If so, look no further than Sway Light. With its accurate physics and novel control scheme, you may find yourself swinging toward the purchase of the full version for $4.99. There's something strangely enjoyable and satisfying about winding up your character and then letting go, launching it far across the board, hoping you can latch onto something when you get there. The trial version has 3 levels and 2 characters, and the full version has 25 levels and 10 characters. Inspired by PopCap's Alchemy, Symbolism is a classic puzzler that has you laying down various symbols of different colors into a grid, one at a time. Here's the catch. You can only lay a symbol tile down adjacent to either another like symbol or a tile whose symbol is the same color. As you lay more tiles in, you'll have to get a symbol that agrees with 2, 3, or possibly even 4 different adjacent tiles. When you fill up an entire row with tiles, all the symbols in that row disappear. You can discard a yet to be placed tile that doesn't fit anywhere, but if you have to discard 4 in a row, the game is over. You also rebuild your available discards by simply placing tiles. The light version gives you the game itself in its entirety, but you'll need the 99-cent full version for all the extra stuff, like online high scores, Facebook integration, custom difficulty settings, and more. Archers is an ultra-simple projectile game in the vein of Scorched Earth with super intuitive touch controls, a cool art style, and a one-on-one style of play. You pull back the bow and launch an arrow at your off-screen opponent. If you manage to hit them, you'll take a chunk out of their life bar at the bottom. Headshots do the most damage. You can play against the computer or another player on the same iPhone. No online play is a bummer, but the game is still a lot of fun, especially against a friend. Geotap is a game that lets you celebrate your inner nerd. Each round, the game asks you to locate a different city or landmark somewhere in the world using its cool Google Maps-like interface. After you touch where you think the given location is on the world map, the game calculates how close you were and scores you accordingly. The bonus round heats things up by only showing a picture of the place you have to pinpoint. I'm hoping the next update allows you to see where the locations you miss actually were a little better. Geotap sells for $1.99 and is a great way to trick kids into learning about geography. Zenbound is the BDSM of puzzle games. The goal of the game is to bind different objects with rope. As you wrap these objects, the area that the rope touches turns a different color, and you have to have a certain percentage of the object painted before you can move on to the next board. But you only have so much rope at your disposal. Zenbound presents this novel concept extremely well, and while the control is sometimes frustrating, I can see myself getting really wrapped up in this game. Zenbound sells for $2.99 and the free version contains just 2 boards. Bix Lite is an awesome iPhone adaptation of the Windows classic Jezball. Your goal on each board is to section off 75% of the playing surface. The touch gesture controls work perfectly, and the added mechanic of trapping a ball to give you a power-up is a great idea that adds more strategy to a fairly straightforward game. The light version contains 6 boards, and the full version contains even more levels and power-ups and sells for 99 cents.
Alright, that's our show for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can get show updates at twitter.com/iPhoneRoundup, and you can email questions, comments, or suggestions to iPhoneRoundup@gmail.com. Also, if you're a developer, send promo codes to your game in that same email address, and we may review it on the show. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.